In England and parts of the former British Empire, like New Zealand and Australia, the practice of performing on the street with the hope of gaining gratuities from passers-by is called busking. And if you visit Melbourne, Australia, you just might find 13-year-old Daniel Shaw playing his keyboard or guitar on a busy street corner and serenading those who stop and listen with a wide-ranging repertoire. In fact, you might hear anything from old Duke Ellington,
cigarette holder, which wakes me off her shoulder. She takes me a cabin that's sad and low,
to Justin Bieber.
There's a dream in my soul, a fantasy inside of me. There's a me no one knows when to be set free.
Or perhaps one of his own original songs. Daniel has also attracted a large following on YouTube. He's in Los Angeles, where he competed in the just-concluded World Championships of Performing Arts in Hollywood. I'm very happy to welcome singer, songwriter, multi-instrumentalist, and of course, busker extraordinaire, Daniel Shaw, to Good Morning Hudson Valley.
Hello, Bruce.
Hi, Daniel. How you doing?
Good.
I want to talk to you, of course, about your busking, your songwriting, and the competition you were involved with in Hollywood. But first, you're 13 now. I want to ask you, when and how did your interest in making music start for you?
When I was 6, me and my sisters and all that, we started playing piano, and my dad started teaching us. And Dad said that I found an interest in piano and music and all that. So, yeah, and then I started just singing for fun at home and stuff and playing the piano, and I knew a wide range of songs. So it seemed such a waste to just play them at home. So I started playing them out on the streets of Melbourne, and people started, saying I had potential and they loved it. So that really kept me going.
How did Billy Joel fit into this?
Well, my dad's a Billy Joel fan, so yeah. So I just listened to some of Billy Joel's songs, and I'm like, gee, it's not too bad. So I really liked it. So I went to a concert in 2008 of Billy Joel, and I know basically nearly all his songs. So he's an inspiration to me.
So that was kind of like the moment when you decided that you're really going to go for it.
Yeah, that was when I was really going to go for it, yeah.
As for the busking, you said you started really young doing that.
Yeah.
Now, do you perform in Melbourne? It's a big city. Do you usually perform in one location?
It's a really big story because when I started off, I started busking in different places that I didn't have too much of a big setup, so it was all right. So I just moved from different places. You got to find a good place where you don't bother too many shops. And then finally, I found this spot outside Target in Burke Street. I played there for about 4 years. Yeah, and then 2 hours, and then you had to move to a new spot. So then we went to the Burke Street Mall. So my dad had to go to meetings on Wednesday. So then we could get a spot in the meetings because it went out of a draw where you went and stuff. And that's the best spot we've ever been at.
So it's kind of organized. It isn't like all these people vying for one spot and one fighting with the other and saying, this is mine.
It's actually quite complicated.
So you usually set up, you've got a whole sound system. You have a keyboard, you have a PA system.
Got lots now, yeah.
And you play for about an hour or so?
The buskers alternate for half an hour. One busker goes for half an hour, and then the other goes for another half an hour. It's very organized.
What's the biggest challenge for you when you're busking?
Well, the biggest challenge is when you get too popular in one spot and you get too many crowds and you pack out the cafes and stuff, they start complaining and all that, and you can't please anybody. So it's really, really hard.
Do you find that people are generous? Do you really make some money doing that?
Well, yeah, actually, some people are really generous because they really believe in me, and because they know the music industry is very expensive, and one song is $1,000 for one song in an album. So they're really nice.
Well, about your songwriting, when did you start writing songs?
Well, my first song was called "I Don't Want to Grow Up." Well, I don't know. Just one day, I really don't want to grow up like that. So, and then I just wrote a song about not wanting to grow up. So,
About how many songs have you written so far?
well, in my album, I have 13 tracks. So I've written quite a few. Some collaborations with my mum and dad, and some I just wrote by myself. And I think I like Bruno Mars because he has a really nice voice and stuff. And I like Billy Joel, of course, because he's a piano player and a singer.
Where do the inspirations for writing your songs come from? Different experiences?
Yes, definitely. For example, like when I was busking, I see lots of homeless people in the streets, and people just walk past not paying any attention. So I'm like, gee, this could be a song. So I wrote a song about love being all we need to make a difference in this world.
Well, I'm going to play a little bit of that and a few others that you've written, just a few snippets, and we'll give a listen here.
In this world, there are so many places, there were so many faces. In this world, there is so much hunger, so much pain. We try to avoid the blame, feeling all forgotten, feeling all left out. We fill our lives with so many toys, hoping to bring us joy. But love is all we need, it's all we need to make a difference. Lean on me when you fall, and I'll be there when you call. Even in a crowded room, I will find you. Even through your highs and lows, falling just some dominoes. Hey, little brother, why aren't you sleeping? Don't have to worry. Stop your weeping. I'm like a shadow. I'll never leave you. Hey, little brother, just close your eyes. This is the last straw. I don't need no more. I will cut the cord. I've heard this all before, and I can.
We're talking with Daniel Shaw. He is a 13-year-old singer, songwriter, and busker from Melbourne, Australia. Just some of his songs there. Do you have a favorite from the ones you've written so far?
I actually do. I love all of them, but the last one you played is got to be my favorite. No more.
You seem to be getting quite a good response. And by the way, these videos that to the songs you've just heard are up on YouTube. And
Daniel Shaw, Music Man
Music
channel.
Man. Yep. About the thing you did in Hollywood, World Championships of Performing Arts, I guess you did pretty well.
Yeah, and it was a really good experience. Like, I met a lot of cool people, like people who've trained Michael Jackson and really famous people. So it's really cool.
Well, where would you like to see your singing and songwriting take you?
I just want to, play people my music and make them happy. And I just like playing music for people. It's really cool. I just want to be a worldwide entertainer like Billy Joel.
How can people find out more about Daniel Shaw and see your videos and get your music?
Well, my website, www.danielshaw.com.au, has links to my YouTube channel, my Facebook, my Twitter, so it has basically everything.
Daniel Shaw, quite a young entertainer, and as I always say, I'm just amazed at the level of talent that comes from young people, and I'm also amazed by all the energy and enthusiasm they have for what they do. It's been a real pleasure speaking with you, Daniel, and
Thank you.
I want to wish you all the best.
Thank you.